You might have often been asked to speak about your strengths and weaknesses in an interview. Typically, this question can get you anxious, which happens because you're unsure how to put across your strengths and weaknesses in an honest yet qualifying way. Here we are to prep you up with the answer to this question. Hello everyone, today we bring you this interesting video on answering what are your strengths and weaknesses in an interview. If you are preparing for your next interview, this video is definitely what you're supposed to be watching. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from Simplilearn. Imagine when your interview is going all well and suddenly the interviewer asks you what your strengths and weaknesses are. Why do you think such a question is asked in the first place? Well, it is asked to see how good you evaluate yourself and how self-aware you are. Through your answer, the interviewer also tries to understand how fit you are for the job based on its nature. Hence, it is of utmost importance that you prepare your answer well and not let it damage your chances of being hired. All of us have strengths and weaknesses. However, what matters here is if you acknowledge them and how cleverly you present it before the interviewer. Let's begin with the first part of the question, and that is what your strengths are. So, do you think you need to praise yourself while answering this? Absolutely not. Refrain from using multiple adjectives to showcase how good you are, as this can make you look overconfident. Instead, use a couple of attributes that you think you have, and at the same time those that are going to be highly beneficial for the job that you are applying for. The best way you can do this is by understanding the job description well and mapping your qualities to those that can be a boon to the job. For example, if you apply for a job that requires you to work with data and provide business results, one of your biggest strengths could be problem solving and critical thinking. Other examples of strengths that work well for almost every job are an eye for detail, team player, time management, flexibility, quick learner, etc. The next key point to keep in mind is to pinpoint your strengths with evidence. Just listing these adjectives won't suffice. You need to speak of one or two situations at work or during your college times wherein you have been successful because of your strength. For instance, you can say how your time management skill helped you complete a project way before the deadline. This way, you're supporting your strength with a true story as well. By doing this, you sound honest and more believable to the interviewer. You are free to add other strengths that you feel suit you. However, keep the list short and quantify it down. On that note, I have a small question for you all. Apart from the previously mentioned strengths, do you have any other interesting strengths that can impress the recruiter? If yes, please pause and tell us what the skill is. You can drop your answers in the comment section below. Now, let's get to the trickier part, and that is how to answer what are your weaknesses. Before answering this question, carry out a self-reflection, identify your weakness and try to improve. Our first tip to you here is not to say that you don't have any weaknesses, because the interviewer will understand in a jiffy that you are lying. All of us have some weaknesses and it's okay to acknowledge them. Next, don't try to answer this question with an obvious strength. For example, do not say you're too hardworking or that you are an idealist. This sounds unbelievable and too cliche. You shouldn't answer this question with any of your personal weaknesses. And remember to be professional. So, how do you answer then? Think of a real weakness that you have experienced in the past and construct a story around it. The next step is to mention how you are working on your weaknesses and mention the steps you have taken to overcome them. Weaknesses are not personality traits. Hence, one can always take the initiative to overcome them. What matters is for us to be cognizant of our weaknesses. Interviewers should feel like your weaknesses are no longer that bad and you must keep them in the past. When listing your weaknesses, you need to be clever and read the job description first. Sometimes the weaknesses you say might not gel well with the job you're applying for. It would be best if you don't seem like a misfit for the job because of your weakness. Hence, it is safe if you speak of a legitimate weakness, simultaneously a one that doesn't affect your hiring. A few weaknesses you can say depending on the job profile are public speaking, attention to detail as you tend to spend more time, learning to multitask, being straightforward, etc. Once again, make sure to choose a weakness that doesn't largely affect the job you're applying for. So, those were our tips to help you answer the interview question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? This question can be tough if you don't prepare beforehand. Hence, make sure to follow the strategy we have discussed here to nail your answer. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope these tips were helpful and we wish you all the very best. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.